Today, we're looking at one of the most heartbreaking figures in our scriptures, Devaki, the mother of Krishna. We often think of her as a victim of her brother Kamsa's cruelty, shackled in a dark dungeon, watching her children being snatched away. But in the grand tapestry of the Puranas, nothing happens by chance. Devaki's suffering wasn't just the result of a tyrant's fear. It was the culmination of two ancient curses that spanned across yugas. To understand this, we have to look back at Devaki's previous life as Aditi, the mother of the Devas. The first layer of this cosmic debt begins with a simple act of greed. Aditi's husband, the great sage Kashyapa, once stole a divine cow belonging to the deity Varuna to perform a sacrifice. When Varuna demanded his animal back, Kashyapa refused. To make matters worse, Aditi and her co-wife Surasa joined in, insulting the deity. In his anger, Varuna cast a shadow over their future. He decreed that because they stole a cow and lived like common thieves, they would be reborn as mortals in the mortal realm of Gokula, destined to live as cattle herders. Lord Brahma himself upheld this, declaring that the learned sage and his wives must experience the humble life of mortals in the 28th Dwapara Yuga. This is how Kashyapa became Vasudev and Aditi became Devaki. But that only explains where they were born. It doesn't explain the tragedy of the prison. For that, we have to look at a much darker rivalry, the one between Aditi and Diti. As the story goes, Aditi had been blessed with a son, Indra, the king of the gods. Seeing her sister's joy, Diti grew consumed by jealousy. She begged her husband Kashyapa for a son who would be Indra's equal, a child powerful enough to topple the king of heaven. Kashyapa, ever the impartial sage, granted her the boon. As Diti's pregnancy progressed, her power and beauty grew so radiant that it was Aditi's turn to feel the sting of fear. She went to her son Indra and warned him, "Unless you act now, Diti will give birth to your replacement." What followed was a moment of divine treachery. Indra, acting on his mother's advice, approached his pregnant aunt Diti with a mask of humility. "Mother, I have come to serve you." He waited. He served her so diligently that she eventually fell into a deep, exhausted sleep. Seizing the moment, the artful Indra used his weapon, the Vajra, to enter Diti's womb. With cold precision, he cut the unborn child into 7 pieces. When the child began to cry in pain, Indra shouted, "Ma Ruda," which means "don't cry," and cut each of those 7 pieces into 7 more. Those 49 fragments didn't die. They became the 49 Marutas, the wind deities. But the damage was done. When Diti woke and realized the horror Indra had committed at his mother's instigation, her grief turned into a terrifying rage. She turned to Aditi and delivered a curse that would echo through time. She said, "Your son killed my child in the womb itself. Therefore, he will lose his kingdom. And you? Because you were responsible for the murder of my child, you will spend your days in a prison, grieving over your own children. You will watch as they too are annihilated." And so, the stage was set. Fast forward to the 28th Dwapara Yuga. The curse of Varuna brought Aditi to earth as Devaki, but it was the curse of Diti that placed her in Kamsa's dungeon. Every time Kamsa dashed one of Devaki's newborns against the stone floor, it was the ancient debt of a mother's jealousy and a son's treachery being paid in full. It's a sobering reminder that in these ancient stories, even the gods are bound by the laws of karma. Devaki's tears in that prison were not just her own, they were the echoes of a sister's grief from an age long forgotten.